All right, so it should say live. Yes, I did. Looking around. Yeah. All right, so now where do I find that at?
Down at the bottom, I believe it should say like invite.
Okay, invite. All right, invite guests to the broadcast studio. So copy to clipboard.
So you can send it to me over Discord or somewhere. Or at this point, you just put it in chat because I'm the only person here.
Yeah. Well, let's see if this works.
Try mentioning it enough times during your thing.
YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common when sharing a link. You may need to share the link. What?
No, then yeah, just send it over Discord.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, Discord, open up. Well, it is opening up, sort of. So how do I get rid of that? Not able to. Why aren't you coming up, Discord? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, can't do it because of other things. Well, that's crazy. My Discord is blank, and I don't know why. It's got a blank screen. Yeah, I know. I heard it, but it didn't. For some reason, it didn't. Yeah, I heard bleep again. It's not letting me. You stupid thing. Yeah, I see that. Yep. Well, I closed the program. Let's open it back up.
Is it working?
No, I'm opening the program. I closed it. No. Okay, well, this is totally blank. I closed Discord down, and then I opened it back up. Well, that's being stupid. Well, hold. Okay, link, where are you? Okay. Invite. Okay, well, now that. Oh, I'm having tech issues today.
Do we need to call a tech guy for you?
Well, you're.
Glasses, Scott, you're looking at that thing for glasses.
Well, I go in for laser surgery next week.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, I do. So I haven't been doing much of anything. In February, my nighttime driving was crazy, and I haven't worn glasses all my life. And I spent 10 plus years in the steel mill on the railroad, looking at all those flashing at lights. Well, guess what? The doctor said, and they're finding that a lot of guys my age are coming in who are welders, and the new welding stuff, the shields aren't protecting their eyes, and so they're going partially blind, and they have to get stuff done. So yeah.
When I worked in a metal shop, the older guys would not wear the ones that like automatically turn on, because they said not turning on fast enough. You're still getting that initial flash.
Yep.
And if you're welding all day,
Yep.
and you keep getting hit with that initial flash, even as fast as it's taking on, then you'll still have eye problems. So they all still wore the old regular ones.
That is correct. That is correct. Okay, I just sent you the link. It should be fine.
Oh, will it?
Did it work?
See me now?
Yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Heath. Unmute mic. Yeah. Add to stream. There you are. Split screen.
Hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you off now. Bye.
Okay, so let me just send a quick email because I need to send a quick email.
Sure, go ahead.
Man, I have torn this place apart. The girlfriend, oh my God. Like, to get everything working today, I mean, you can kind of see behind me. I've got the camera and I've got just everything like, I just tore it apart. So I may, while we talk, be back there tearing stuff down. But let me just send this email real quick, and
that's fine. Now let's see. My screen, it's like weird. It's like the StreamYard is not lining up, or the picture box is not lining up with the camera. It's like I'm right in front of the camera right now, but if I go this way, I get full view. If I go this way, I'm out of view.
Right on the screen, look underneath. You'll see a button you can click that'll make it 16:9.
Nope. Let's see. Nope. 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 Nope.
There you go.
What?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the one thing, not the other.
Yeah, that's fine. Go back to. See that, like you caught it early. Maybe you caught it earlier. I said last week or whatever it was, Monday night or whatever it was. The Amazon package that had the microphone, the earbuds, and the webcam in, they lost.
They lost it?
Yeah. Well, this is what happened. I ordered it, which was fine. After you gave me all the information, I ordered like a week or two later, and that was what, back in September or beginning of October, whatever it was. And so because of all the COVID junk, if you order something, say today, it may say won't be able to be sending until next week, Wednesday or Thursday. There's like a week lag. If you're not ordering masks or gloves, they regular stuff, they let a few days, which is fine. I don't care. So then a week went by. That was fine. But I kept track of the tracking. They said, okay, it's shipped. It's being delivered by Amazon. Okay, fine. Not particularly a fan with them right now, but that's okay. And it usually goes to a place called Swickley, PA, down here, and which is only about 30 minutes away from where I live. So what is that, Swickley? And it stayed there for 2 days. Well, I know Amazon got rid of a lot of their contract drivers, so I understand that mess. So, a couple of days went by, and I called them. I said, Amazon, my package such and such is at your hub here in Swickley. I said, I'm only 30 minutes from the hub. Can I go down and pick it up? Well, they don't allow people to do that.
Yeah, no, they don't. Yep.
And the closest Amazon locker is up in Grove City, which is like 40 minutes away from me. So, you know what? Fine. I'll just wait. And they say, well, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. So, meanwhile, we're like into the third week of this mess. And I called Amazon again. And this time I asked for a English-speaking person. And I explained my situation. I said, look, it's been sitting at your hub there in Swickley. And fortunately, I was actually talking to the customer service in that hub in Swickley. I said, well, they said, sir, we have your email address, and we're going to investigate, and I'll give you a call back. And he was one of the supervisors, so said he would personally call me back. So a couple of days went by, and he did call me back and said, we can't locate your package. I go, what? You can't locate the package? It's like, oh, really? So I put it, and he goes, well, we can start the claim process. And I said, if your claim process is going to, replace or find the package of the stuff that I ordered, that would be great, because it said fulfilled by Amazon. Whether they physically had those items in the Amazon warehouse somewhere or not, who knows? But so that's where we're at.
Well, that's that whole, I hate that whole third party thing, not third party thing. It's yeah, I don't like it, but yeah.
And they built a huge distribution center out in Ohio, central Ohio. And 2 years ago, they hired like 3,000 people, and then 6 months later, they fired like half the people. And I knew somebody who worked out there and said, "Yeah, we were there for 6 months, getting all these hours, and then they axed like half of us and told us to be on standby to come back."
Yeah, I was gonna say in New York, they're hiring all kinds of people.
Yeah, well, they better find out because it's only short term. One person said they were hired through a temp agency. They only worked a week, and that was it. So I don't know. So that's my, I've been a Prime member for years, and this is my first actual real issue with Amazon. But we won't even discuss about FedEx Smart Post and UPS Smart Shipping and USPS. I've been getting beat up boxes. I live out in the country. Well, I do. We have a rural carrier. And so if you mailed me something today and you lived in the next town over, I'd literally get it 2 days later. There's a guy that I buy books from. He's a book writer. He does a lot of stuff for Morning Sun Books. His name's Steve Timko. And he lives 2 towns over. And when he sends his books, when he gets them done, he sends them to me. He always puts tracking. We tracked one book. It went from South Heights, which is close to Pittsburgh. It went to Pittsburgh Distribution Center. It went to New York. It went to Chicago, down to West Virginia, and then to me.
I've been having some weird stuff too, where I'll order something and it'll go from Pennsylvania to New Jersey to get to New York. Like, so it basically had to go through where I'm at to get back to me.
Right. And well, it goes through their hubs.
Yeah. But there's a major hub. There's a major hub in Pennsylvania that I thought went directly to the major hub in Staten Island, but it keeps, I don't know.
It gets bypassed to Jersey. Always to Jersey. I when I order from eBay and it comes in directly, one time in July, I ordered a bunch of stuff from eBay. Excuse me. And it arrived early. It was supposed to be on July 29th. It went to the USPS hub in Warrendale, which is literally 15 minutes down the road. And it stayed there. It stayed there for 3 days. I called them and said, "My package is at your hub. Why did you keep it?" She goes, the person on the phone goes, "Well, we weren't supposed to schedule deliver it until the 29th. But it came early. You sat on it for 2 days. It came early. Deliver it."
Yeah, they've done that a lot to me too, where like it gets held on to or something. It's really
And when we have fill-in rural carriers, one substitute won't deliver packages. Period.
Well, that's because you live in bumfuck nowhere. I don't know. I don't even know where you live. I don't know how far off the beaten path you are. You can be in a ritzy little suburb for all I know.
No, I live out in the country.
Okay,
I used to keep a camera outside on battery because I live up the hill from a rail line, and I used to tie a camera when the leaves fall. I used to tie a camera to the tree, and it would record. It was motion detected. It was pretty neat, and until a bird decided to build its nest on its casing, and then I would download the video, then pump it up before even YouTube was in existence. But yeah, so this giveaway I mentioned, I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but the outlining of, I'm going to send you a number in a closed envelope, and you can't open it until we have over 100 subscribers.
Sign your signature, like, or something all over the envelope, so like it's obvious if somebody's tried to open it, kind of thing. Yeah, the typical.
And you'll do it in good Heath fashion. Here's the envelope. And I may do a Google form. I may just do plain email. Just email a number 1 through 100 and be done with it. Something simple.
Yeah.
And the prize will probably be something generic.
Oh, Steve is here.
Hi, Steve. Whoever Steve is. Steve
Childers.
Childers. Hi, Steve. We're just babbling on here. But there's one thing I wanted to show you, Heath, is I've got right here a Raspberry Pi kit. Actually, it's called the Raspberry Pi Desktop Kit. It comes with a
Who's
Pi
that from?
4. This is from Raspberry Pi. One of their dealers is called Vitros, Vitros, I think. Vitros. Vitros.com or Viro.
Can you make me a moderator? I'm going to try and share the link with Steve.
All right. So how do I make you a moderator?
Click on so you have to go onto YouTube, and in the chat on YouTube, are you on your phone or on a computer?
Well, I'm on a computer, but I can go right over to my phone here.
I think you can do it on your phone. On the YouTube app, just click the dots on the right side, and you can make someone a moderator.
Channel, videos, dots on the side. Okay, I got to be in the streaming. Videos, dots on the side.
You're gonna want to turn your volume down too, or you're gonna keep hearing it go.
Add moderator. Yep. Oops, made Steve a moderator. Okay. Let's see here. This is hilarious.
I figured there aren't going to be enough people here that we should just add everyone to the chat, or add everyone to the the stream.
Okay. Where in the world is it? Because I just added Steve, I think, as a moderator by mistake.
Well, I mean,
okay.
No, it doesn't look like I'm a moderator yet.
Yet. Well, all right. Settings. Oh my goodness. I can't take that call at the moment. Let's see here. There we go. Well, holy cow, I did it once and it came up.
You can just open up another window on your web browser. Oh, Steve's a moderator, but I'm not.
Yeah, I know. That's passing out wrenches here.
So whatever you did for Steve, do it for me.
Well, I am trying. Let's see. Okay. Watch capabilities, report. No, it's the wrong ones. I need. Okay. No, I don't want stats for nerds. What the heck is that all about?
Stats for nerds.
That's what it said. Stats for nerds. We're getting some weird stuff here now. Hit the 3 dots. It says report quality captions, playback, stats for nerds, watching VR, help and feedback. Well, no.
Oh, not those 3 dots. Go into the chat and next to somebody's name.
There we go. Well, that was weird. Okay, testing out new things, guys. Testing out new things. Anyway, so got the Raspberry Pi, and the kit was only like $120, and it comes with the. I got the highest Raspberry Pi, which I think is the 4 gig. With the SD
that's what
card.
I have is the 4 gig,
and it's got the keyboard and mouse, and the whatnot. So the whole thing. So they were out of because I wanted to get a monitor. Well, I have an HDMI monitor on the wall over here, but on Adafruit.com, I picked up because they were having a sale, and I've been a loyal Adafruit customer for years. And it's under the table here, or was anyway. Yeah, well, it was. I'm under the table. Hey, Heath, can I have those knee pads?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have the empty box. Just need to find the stupid. There we go. We got it now. A 10-inch touchscreen panel for the Pi.
Oh, nice. I was thinking about getting one of those for my little JMRI guy, just so it had a local, just so it had something local. But
So what you want to do with the JMRI and the Pi is you want to download Steve Todd's image.
yep, that's what I'm using.
Good.
I don't know if I have the latest at this point, but that's what I was using.
He's made a lot.
Although an interesting thing happened to me. Let me see VNC. VNC viewer. It used to be, let's see, roster. Oh, come on. Roster. Seems to be locked up. Panel Pro. Roster. Quit. My Raspberry Pi seems to be locked up right now.
Yeah, sometimes it
helpful.
goes into freeze mode, so you have to redo it.
But yeah, so I had put my roster of locomotives in, and then I went back and it was gone.
Huh.
Hey, Frank and Steve, come up here so we can chat instead of having to look at the thing. What's that thing called? Chat.
Had to look at me.
You trim that beard.
Oh, there he is.
No, I didn't trim that beard yet.
It looks shorter.
Maybe I
Who
shrunk.
is that young
Oh,
guy?
Your face
Who's
is
that young
further
guy
from
that
the
looks like
camera.
Frank?
Hey guys.
Hey,
We're all working out the bugs here. Working out the bugs.
yeah, nerdy stuff. Scott, I'm just stopped in for a second. I just subscribed to you. Sorry, I didn't do that earlier.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Go
But
through and look at.
I
Go
just
through.
stopped in for a second. I'm actually getting ready to go do stuff with my grandkids. So
There you go. That's good. But go through. I posted videos on there. Jim
I will.
Herzog's Reading lines. I'm going to be
I will.
posting Larry. I'm going to be posting Larry Reynolds' layout over the weekend. Now,
Yeah.
him and Jim are not too far away from each other.
Hey Heath,
Yes, sir.
I tried to comment earlier when you on the thing, but there's no way for me to share unless you got a live stream going with me to join it. But I noticed that stuff you're using to clean the track is a lube. You don't want to use that. Next time I'm on a live stream, I'll show you my can. It's actually an electronic contact cleaner. That's
That's
great.
what 226 is. It's a
Oh,
it's a
it does-
contact cleaner with an electrical thingamajiggy.
Yeah, I read lube on the can. I'm like, that's going to leave something back to lubricate. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Some guys have used mass airflow sensor cleaner.
That'll work too. But that
Yeah.
could be pretty harsh. That could be pretty harsh on like ballast and stuff if you got it glued down.
it does say lubricant, but it's a plastic safe lubricant penetrant and corrosion inhibitor that helps prevent, and this is why I use it, which helps prevent electrical malfunctions caused by water penetration, humidity, condensation, or corrosion.
But the reason I say not to use lube is because it leaves a residue on your track that holds that dirt.
The 226 tests that people have done, it
Yeah.
collects less dirt than it collects less dirt than not using it.
Say hi, kid.
Hey kid, what's up?
Hey, little one.
What's up, buddy?
Come on, buddy. Get you up in the car seat.
Yeah, I use that same stuff.
No,
The CRC 226.
the dust monkey stuff that you were talking about.
I
Those
also
are
have their
you are,
contact cleaner.
you're talking about those dust monkeys, those things that clip onto the axle of underneath the truck.
Yes, that's I'm gonna get those just as a just as a thing to have.
Yeah,
That's
they
that's
work.
quite the view there, Frank.
Yeah, I know. It's on my cheek. Hold on.
We're
I'm
looking for earwax.
fucking on a car seat. So anyway, yeah, the dust monkeys are great. But actually, what I do with them sometimes, I spray some of that cleaner right on the dust monkey and let it run around, and it'll wipe the track.
I'm thinking about doing that, like having one car that's a wet and one car that's a dry, and have the wet car with some on it, and then the dry car going off behind it.
Yeah, that'll help out a lot. It'll help out a lot. There's one underneath, and every one of my trains under every caboose.
Dave.
Oh,
P-
interesting.
Dave P's here too.
Hey, Dave.
Dave, click the link.
Click the link and I'll bring you up.
Just make sure to put the dust monkey on the rear axle, the rear truck on the front axle, so that when it's moving, it's giving downward pressure on the dust monkey.
Say that
Not-
one more time. Put it on the
Rear truck, forward
rear
axle.
truck. Rear truck. Okay, I get you. The front axle of the rear truck. Okay.
So it's pushing down on the track as it's moving, and not
Yep.
being dragged with no pressure.
Right. Yep.
All right, guys, I'm off with the kids here. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
See you later.
Yeah. All right, so we'll bring up Dave. Did he click the link?
I don't know. I
Dave,
put it up there. Dave, click the link. Dave, link. Dave.
If you want, click the link. Pop on up.
Dave, link.
Dave link. There he is.
Dave going AFK.
No, he's there.
Oh, there he goes.
Welcome, Dave.
Hello.
It's gonna be like Cheers. Dave.
Dave. Where's Dave?
Dave.
Hey,
Norm.
speaking of Cheers, didn't that one guy get in trouble not too long ago from Cheers?
Which
He
guy?
did?
He didn't die. No, he got in trouble or something for something.
Who got in trouble?
One of the actors from Cheers.
I haven't heard
Which
anything.
one?
Yeah. My roster is completely empty. I don't know what happened, but I don't have a roster anymore in JMRI.
Try to can you reload the file or close out JMRI?
Do you have more than one railroad in JMRI?
I do not know how to create a railroad, so I do not know the answer to that.
Okay. When you sign in,
I don't sign in. I just turn on the Raspberry Pi and it opens.
okay.
He's using the Steve
Right.
Todd image.
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi version is slightly different. We had that problem before, Heath, when we were trying to figure out why the one wouldn't work,
Yeah, no, definitely.
and then all of a sudden it was that you went in and you did. I don't know what it was. I never did figure it out, but all of a sudden you had a roster.
Import complete roster. Clean, disable, panel pro. I wonder where it might save the roster. I'm wondering if it's like saved somewhere and I just don't. Oh, here we go. Roster. Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go. So all of the items are here. I see them all. I just don't know. Like I see, GG1 Blackjack 4935.xml. So it's here. I guess I just need to re-import all of the roster entries again.
Yeah, load or import. Yeah.
Let's see, roster.
That would be interesting.
What's really interesting is it's got backup files of every one. So I'm trying to not click on all the backup files.
Or at least the most recent one.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course it won't let me select. It won't let me select more than one item.
I'm going to run and get my son from the bus stop. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
So do whatever you need to do to keep running.
Discuss amongst ourselves.
It'll take
I'm
more
good.
than a day.
We're just here so that you could show us the toys.
Exactly. Yes, I'm going to show some other stuff here in a little bit. I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, so now I need to figure out how to get all these import complete roster. Is there a complete roster file?
Should be the one that has all your stuff on it.
Well, I'm looking and they all seem to be listed separately, and I don't see one that just says, all of them.
Click on that option, see what it does.
It brings up the same exact window that the other one brought up. All right. Well, at least the roster entries are there. I just have to figure out how to get them back into JMRI, which
See, mine, it loads up automatically. Of course, I'm on the Windows version, not the Raspberry
mine was supposed to.
Pi.
You know, that was the whole point of using the JMRI version and not running it on my laptop, was that it was, you know, its own 100% dedicated unit.
I gotta tell you, Heath, you made my day yesterday.
What did I do yesterday?
When you put the link of the Blame Heath on the
Yeah.
Cross Timbers
Yeah.
and went over to your Teesprings and saw that, I said, oh man, I got to order some shit.
I figure, you know, I got to take advantage of it while I can, right?
Oh, hell yeah. That's going to be perfect. I guarantee you those are going to be your hottest items, man.
That's what I figure. I mean, I've already in one day I sold more items. Not more than I ever have, but I've sold more items than usual. So
In one day than any other day, probably.
yeah.
I'll be putting it on Sunday, so.
I'm debating whether I want to run these trains anymore or if I should just put them all away.
Depends on what time your girlfriend gets home.
Who knows? I mean, these days, you just have no idea because, yeah, you just don't know. It's just, you know, everything's kind of up in the air. But yeah, and I recorded it all on the GoPro with the intention that now that it's all recorded, I can make a little 5-minute edit of me just adding all the cars until it, you know, runs. So
Until you're chasing the tail.
yeah, exactly.
What was the separation? About an inch?
About an inch, yeah. Yeah. There was, you know, I was definitely not getting any other cars or anything in there. That's for sure.
Were you watching, Dave?
Yep, I was watching.
All right.
Yeah, it was fun though. I mean, I was, you know, my last one, I couldn't really get more than 23 cars because of the wheel slippage. So I was like, well, with 2 locomotives, I should be able to drag more than that. Actually, let me take this off.
I'm still betting you've got a high spot on those re-railers at the train station.
I'm pretty sure I did. And when I put them on, I like weighed them down and I tried to because I've seen some other people's modules too, where literally you'd see the train go up and down over the modules. And
it wouldn't take much for it to lose contact. And when a DCC locomotive loses contact, all right, it loses that connection to the computer, and it'll stop. Now,
yeah, instantly too. It's not like it rolls or anything. It just stops.
If momentum carries it off of it, it'll still stop, and then it'll start again. I did a tip of the day on that. I'm so far ahead. I've got 2 weeks worth in the hopper.
That's smart though. That's smart. Get them all lined up.
Yep. And because I had one doing the same thing at a switch. All right. Now all of my switches are jumpered. Okay, which the frogs aren't wired, but the switches are jumpered.
What do you mean jumpered?
Hang on, I'll show you. Okay, most switches, when you throw the switch, the electrical contact is made at these points.
Yep, right.
Okay. Well, it doesn't take much to foul those points.
Yeah.
And if they get fouled, you don't get any current coming down the tracks. So I jump.
Yeah, right. So gotcha.
Okay.
Now I understand. Yeah, for DCC, I don't know how people would not have feeders on all of their.
Oh yeah, I got feeders everywhere.
On all their switches and everything.
Well, I don't have feeders on the switches. Okay.
Oh, you just have them jumpered.
I have them jumpered like this, and I solder all my joiners.
Okay. Yeah, it's
And-
weird. Some people with the soldering thing, they're like, no, you don't solder stuff because then it ruins expansion. And I'm like,
If you're in
I mean,
climate
like,
control, that doesn't matter.
yeah, it's well, and even if you're not climate controlled, it's like, how much expansion are you getting? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, if I was in a northern climate, non-climate control, like out in the garage or something, yeah, I'd have a little bit more concern. But mine's climate controlled. But anyway, on the every piece of FlexTrack I use has feeders on it. So on a switch, it's got feeders on all three off of all three legs.
Right. Yeah. That
Right.
makes sense. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm planning on doing would be any set track that I use, I'll have it soldered every 3 feet. And then every 3 feet has its own feeders.
Now, what I also do, okay, on these points right up here,
On the frog part? you're
just
talking about, or
between the frog and the rail where the two rails are so close,
yeah.
and down here, I take some liquid hard as nails, nail polish, clear,
Yeah.
and put it on those points so that it comes out a little bit further, because some manufacturers' wheel sets are wider than others. And then
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
as they roll across that, they either make contact or close enough to arc, and again, you'll get that pause in your loco, and then it'll start back up again.
Yeah. What frustrates me a little bit is with ceramic capacitors being available now,
Uh-huh.
like a company like BLI or something, it's like, I don't need a 15-second keep alive, which is what a lot of like the bigger keep alives are. I need literally like half a second keep alive. If in an N scale locomotive, they
Right.
just started throwing in ceramic capacitors to give me half a second to get through dead spots on my track,
Right.
everything would run so much smoother. And I don't understand
It's
why
size-
that's not like a manufacturer standard of
It's a matter of
decoders now.
size and space availability.
Yeah, but those ceramic capacitors are tiny.
Well, the keep alives for HO are a lot bigger.
Well, yes, of course, because they're higher amperage decoders.
Yeah, and you really only need it for mid-level and high-end locomotives. You really only need a keep alive on 040s, 060s. Okay, where you have the engine itself loses contact on one side or the other.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and that's why I'm surprised the BLIs that I have are having such a problem because they're all SD70 Aces. And my SD70 Ace for Kato has no issues on the same track
Yeah,
that the BLIs are having issues on.
don't even get me started on BLIs.
I don't know.
I got a steamer. What is it? 480. I think. And it's got power pickups in the tender, and everything is pickups, so I don't have that issue. But they're damn decoders. I mean, I ran the thing 3 times. I've got PM 42s, power management boards with the
PM42s. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
And damn if the decoder didn't blow. Well, I took it in July, and it just came back to the hobby shop yesterday. I got the notice,
Yeah.
and it's an hour away, so I'll run down next week on my monthly visit and pick up my engine, amongst other things. So there's no way to decode, and those are proprietary decoders. I don't know who makes them for them, but it's not like you can go get a new decoder and swap it out.
Well, I mean, technically, you can get a new decoder and swap it out. It just won't be a direct fit drop in. It'll be a pain in the ass.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So, depends on how much pain and suffering you like.
well, I put in most of my locomotives are old stuff, Athearn Blue Boxes, and I did all the decoders. I don't have a problem.
All my HOs, well, not all my HO stuff. 80% of my HO stuff is all Athearn Blue Boxes that I bought back in the mid 80s. So like I go look at them and it's like, locomotives are $20 and all the passenger cars are like $395, and I'm just like, oh, this would be so great if these are still the prices.
Yeah. Yeah, but our incomes weren't well, yours may have been but more back then.
Well, no. I was just a kid. It was middle school, high school, so
You talk 80s, I'm getting out of college by then.
Right, yeah. No, I went to college in 91.
Oh, hell, you're over 10 years younger than me.
Yeah. So.
Welcome back, Scott. Your mic's muted. There it is. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's one child. My daughter, she's in 4th grade, so that bus will be coming in about 20 minutes. I got to run back down, but I did stop by the mailbox.
Is that your Amazon?
And no, it's not my Amazon stuff.
Amazon.
I was talking to Heath about that earlier. Oh, I tell you. But anyway, figures. I'll probably get it the week before Christmas. You know what I mean? I told him. I'm gonna reorder it, and then if you finally do send it, you're gonna refund my money, and I'll keep what you forgot to deliver.
I've got a race. I've got a race going on. An Amazon package from Germany. Okay. Versus an eBay package from China.
Ooh, that's a good race.
And so far, the eBay is in New Jersey. Okay. The Amazon, I have no idea because they didn't give a tracking number.
Usually if Amazon's delivering it themselves, they have their own tracking and they don't give it to you right away. But if it's Amazon and it uses FedEx Smart Post, where FedEx delivers it and then it's handled to the post office, which is retarded, and then you've got UPS Smart Post, which is the same thing. It gets to the USPS and then UPS delivers it. I don't know how that's saving money, especially when half these trucks have to go past my house anyway to get to the post office. Anyway, so we have an eBay special here. Over the years, I've collected these. If you guys remember the old 3-in-1 kits from Athearn Roundhouse?
Oh yeah.
Well, I've been getting a bunch of those. They're wood chip cars, and they're all undecorated. And the wood chip cars, I don't like their smooth side. If you guys can see this, this is their rib side.
Okay.
And I use those as ore cars for my layout.
I need some gravel cars such as that.
Well, they have them on eBay too, 3-in-1 gravel cars. At last count, I was over 200 of these things.
Do you even have a layout, Scott? I don't think I've ever seen your layout.
But that's a collection. That's a collection of 10 years. Now,
my wife says she's got to put a stop on my friends because you guys are giving me too many ideas to spend money.
If you've looked at my couple videos from earlier this week, you'll see the Bachmann high rail bus going around in circle and the Bachmann high rail going back and forth. You'll see the track sitting on top of a corner of my layout. You'll see an unbuilt roundhouse, and you'll see a built diesel facility there as well.
Okay, so that's your layout.
Yes.
But when you say unbuilt layout, is it done-ish now, or is it still
No, it's still. It's not the plywood Pacific. It's the green. It's the golf course green Homosote Pacific.
Yeah.
There's one section of mine. That's what I call the Lockport Industrial District.
Nice.
Hang on, I got to turn something on.
Wait, were you just inside and you just dragged your camera outside? How did you do that? I wasn't paying attention.
I have what's called mini cam, Manny cam.
Oh, right. So you have the multiple camera thing going.
Right. All I have to do is switch back and forth. But anyway, if you look at that refinery, I bought a pack of it was like a campfire kit without the campfire. It was just the lighting. And then I took a battery powered candle that my wife has for church.
Oh yeah.
Stuck those up inside that flame. I took the flame off the battery, off the candle, and stuck it up in there. And you probably can't see it blinking, but it is the 3 different colored bulbs, yellow, orange, and red, are blinking, and it makes it look like it's a flickering flame on the top of the refinery stack.
Yeah, I can see it flickering.
I like using those things. You can get them for like dirt cheap in packs, like the dollar store, Walmart, and different places.
Yeah.
My wife goes to Joann's and Michael's all the time and gets stuff like that.
CMR Products sells them too.
Yes, they do.
If you know anybody from CMR Products.
I got this at my local guy.
I'm just joking because didn't you put those packages together, Scott?
Yes, I did.
So, Scott, your CMR products?
I'm their electronics guy. Yeah. See, well,
Okay.
if you see,
make that connection.
if you watch a lot of the videos that I'm posting, you'll see Brian, which is my best friend since we were like 12 years old. You'll see his late father, Robert Hartle, who was like a second dad to me as well. And we're like family, literally like family.
Okay.
And so we used to go to train shows and still do all the time. And CMR Products was Bob. When he retired from Castle Homes, they used to make modular homes up here in Pennsylvania, up in Clarion, PA. We would go to train shows like a couple times, weekends in a month, starting from like September, October, November, took December off, then start up in, February, March, and different things. And you'll see a lot of the videos I'll be posting, and you'll see both Brian and Bob, myself, in these videos. And also, we're the ones that used to go around to a lot of, and still do, a lot of the layouts. Larry Reynolds, Jim Herzog, Ken McCory, Bruce Chubb, in the Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia area. Usually weekend trips. We didn't do any long haul stuff. We started to get into it, and then we got into more and more in train shows and whatnot. So that's what we do most of our traveling now. But so that's CMR Products was Bob, and he was a Walthers dealer. So a lot of stuff that he sold was from the Walthers catalog. He was a Digitrax dealer, an NCE dealer, and different things. And all of us used Digitrax. So getting stuff at cost was great. Getting Atlas Track at cost, especially Code 83. I bought for the section of railroad that I did. I used 3 cases of track, 2 cases of switches, and a whole bunch of caboose ground throws. But if it wasn't for his wholesale pricing, then if I went to the local hobby shop, then I'd spend triple the price.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the perks, of growing up like that. And still, the discounts that we get are still good. But I kept the electronics thing going after Bob passed on. And now we're more into more specialized stuff. I have PCBs that are coming over from China once they get here. I call it feed it. What it is a PCB, and it's what is basically is you were talking about all your feeders. I didn't want to solder all my feeders. There had to be an easy way to put the feeders there. So I made a PCB, and the traces on the board can handle up to 24 volts. So you hook this into your bus line, or for those, and this works well for T-Track. If you
do you have it, or do you have it to show us, or no?
I don't have it yet. I have the drawings, which I'll post or show later. But it handles 24 volts, and you can either through-hole solder them, or there's screw terminals, so you can screw terminal them. So there had to be something easier, and so I created that. And actually, we have it the prototypes used on some of the T-Tracks that we take around to shows.
You need to convince them to put pictures of the LED stuff that's on the website, pictures of the actual LED stuff, because it's really hard to buy off of a graphic.
Yes,
You
that
don't
is
really
true.
know what you're getting.
There's a guy who is one of Eric's friends who is in web design, who was also in Eric was a big WoW game player, and one of his friends was a big WoW game player, and that's how they came to be. And once they wanted to go see, Bob never wanted to do anything online. Bob never wanted a website. He didn't even do Facebook. He didn't even take credit cards.
What?
Until the last show that we attended, I used the Square thing on my phone to take credit cards. But yeah.
That's funny.
Well, Bob
Yeah.
was very old school, but let me tell you, every time we went to an Erie train show twice a year, he would take his Digitrax stuff, and we would have a dedicated following, Digitrax following, and the same people would come over and buy them all out. If he had 10 decoders, he said there's one guy wanted to come over and buy all 10 decoders, and he said, well, I can give you 5. This other guy wants decoders. So, he split stuff. But he would always sell out of the Digitrax and NCE stuff at the train shows. And then, of course, he would have to order more. But, he had his following. And so he really didn't need to be, 21st century. So when Seymour Products started, a year or so after, we went mainstream and got into everything. We use my box trailer. I have a box trailer, and that thing is full of T-Track stuff, the electronics. We even built special display cases and stuff like that to haul the stuff around. And the other guy who's part of it is Netzloff, John Netzloff.
John. Yep.
Hey, Sparky.
He does all the decals.
Yep.
He does custom stuff, custom printing. I'll be showing well, not right now. I don't have them out, but I'll be showing what he did with a lot of my cars. And if I can find the one car, it looks like a decal, but it's not. It's really printed on.
I wanted to try and get them to print our STS cars, but they said it's one, they said they're very busy, which I thought is great. But they also said that, they really try and only do 15 unit minimums because of the setup time, which makes sense.
That is correct. That is correct. But maybe I'll see, because they owe me a couple quote favors. I'll see what I can do on that fact. But
we've already got this year's done, but maybe for next year's, if I give, the other problem was we were trying to get it done in a week. If I give them more time, it would be a different story.
You really only have to sell 10 more?
We wanted them to be individual, so none of them are the same. They all have different, numbers and stuff. So, that was part of it.
Each number?
I'm sorry, ask the question again. I didn't.
They'd have to have 15 of each number to print them?
No, they could print individual numbers, but the main setup of the car, where things land on the car and putting it in the machine and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're printing one for each of you, the 4 of you, plus one as your drawing giveaway, that's 5. You only have to sell 10 more.
Yeah. But, yeah. And that's probably, we'll figure something out for next year.
Definitely.
Along those lines.
Keep me in the loop and I'll see what I can do, because I can push different things.
I need to put together a collection train of things like that.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of the idea too, is that, every year we'll kind of create another one. So at some point we'll have a whole sort of fleet of Sidetrack Sunday cars.
And other people may have, their own too.
Yeah, YouTube Model Railroad train club type of thing. YouTube Model Railroad cars.
You have one for group, one for different individuals having them. And, a lot of hobbies have pins.
Send me your ideas.
A lot of hobbies have pins that they trade.
Yep.
We could have rail cars.
Well, we just don't do rail car. We do vinyl stickers. We do stickers for vehicles. John has also been doing fire truck and police cars because this is his core business. He doesn't do the model railroad stuff and decals. He does police cars. He does ambulances. He does fire trucks.
Mm.
He does the stickers for those companies. And, he does it for anybody who wants it. Vinyl stickers for anybody. So it's not just railroad stuff. But, that was.
How does he get away with using the Conrail logo on stuff?
He does get licenses. There's some things.
Oh, he does.
There's some things that people have asked him to print, and he has come back and said we can't do it because of the licensing.
All of the basically railroads that are on there, it's actually licensed. That's awesome.
We have physically, with some of being me, I'm in the railroad industry, and with my contacts, I have put him in touch with a lot of people he has to talk with.
Ah, gotcha.
A lot of these decal companies, like Circus City Decals and a couple other places, they don't actually have the quote licensing to do it. Microscale is mainstream, and they have had to get licensing to do the stuff they do. There's some places that people were just printing. For example, the Ohio Central decals, people were just printing them. And John was actually printing them too. When GWI took over Ohio Central, GWI their legal department sent cease and desist and said, hey, look, stop printing our stuff. Ask us to do it, and we'll gladly let you do it. There was a holdup with CSX and all the different roads that they had a couple years ago. CSX had everybody in a licensing pinch. Because they were.
You should put that kind of stuff. CMR should have on their website. They should have on the website we are licensed to print this, because I think there's value in a lot of that stuff.
Exactly. If you go on the Netzloff design section that lists all the decals, I do believe there is a disclaimer on his page of the CMR site.
Do you do custom decals?
Yes, we do custom. You send us the image, we'll scale it, and then we'll come back with a quote. But there again, John handles all that stuff. So if you can email me at scott.catalano@gmail.com, I can send anything over there to him.
I don't have anything right now, but it's good to know. There's times where, man, I wish I had this decal. And I didn't know who the go-to person was. Now I know.
Yeah. But if you go to my one of my websites, pnorr.com, there you can find it in my YouTube about page. You'll see the P&O flag at the top. And you may see something familiar about it. It's the same style flag as CMR products. The P&O flag came first because I needed a design for a logo for my railroad. Brian made one up. And if you go on the P&O website, you'll see different images he made of locomotives and cabooses and stuff like that. And Bob didn't want anything. He didn't even want business cards. So if you see the two flags, you'll see they're very familiar.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this or have noticed, but the Sidetrack Sunday logo uses the same guy that CMR uses because it's apparently free clip art.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I was like, wait, they've got their own graphic designer in-house and they're using clip art? What's going on?
Well, back then, John was just starting. He wasn't really big into it. John's a fireman by trade, and that's what he does in his day job. And he was just doing decaling as a side thing. It wasn't really a main thing because he lives near the B&P Railroad, and he liked the orange and whatever scheme, and he bought the commercial locos when they came out, and he looked at things, being a nitpicker he is, and say, "Look, these logos are wrong on these locomotives. This paint scheme is off," or whatever it is. So he made logos.
And getting the colors right is tough.
Hey, you guys know what the worst sound in model railroading is?
Cha-ching?
What's that?
The worst sound.
Oh, worst sound.
In model railroading.
Well, I had a brass locomotive hit the floor.
Well, here you go. Give it a minute. This happened about 2-3 weeks ago.
What happened?
Just watch my camera. You'll see. There's a security camera in that room, and I captured this footage off of it.
Sparky just says he needs some decals made of his logo.
Okay,
Well-
here it comes.
Oh,
I was devastated. That was my favorite engine, Burlington CB&Q E9 Proto 2000.
oh no!
And I mean, it is trashed, big time.
Yeah, Sparky, send me a line, buddy. We can hook you up.
Oh, yeah, that is.
All right, I'm gonna jump off here and get my daughter off the bus, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. Are you going to show us that lighting stuff?
Yes, I will. I will. I gotta dig everything out of here.
All right. We just came here for the show and tell.
That's right. Sparky, just so you know, a lot of us miss you, buddy. But totally
Oh,
understand.
Sparky who, Steve? I don't know what you're talking about.
Keith doesn't miss you a bit.
He still hasn't responded to my email from a week ago, so I'm just giving him a hard time. Hey Sparky, did you see my new website?
Being at work, I bet you he's just periodically checking.
Yeah, probably. Or he's got his phone in his pocket and he's just got like one earphone in or something.
All right. He has not seen your website.
Oh, blame Heath. Yes.
Oh, he has seen your new website.
New York City early bird. Yep, that's that. So that appears to not be this. Armor refrigerated line is this guy. I mean, that's the bad part about. Oh, here's the box for it. The bad part about having to set this up and take it down every day is that I'm still trying to get everything in the same cases, just so that whatever.
Oh, my buddy's here.
Oh, hi, Steve's other half.
Her name's Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl. Now it's just
Wait,
two.
you mean they have names? I just thought they were all called Honey.
Good one.
And now it's two of us.
Yeah. So what are you working on, Dave?
Oh, last couple of days I've been working on getting plans on putting my roof on.
Roof on like model railroading roof or like roof on your house roof?
Roof on a garage.
Ah,
Rebuilding the garage.
was it like a just like one of those covered things and you're making it into a real garage, or was it a
No.
garage that you're like redoing?
The old garage caught on fire.
Oh. Was there like stuff in it at the time?
Oh yeah, there was stuff in it. There was train stuff in there. There was model stuff in there.
Man, I keep hearing all these stories about people's like garages and sheds and stuff. It's just, I mean, I'm on the 14th floor in an apartment, so the chance of a lot of that stuff happening is minimized, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
So I got all the walls up now. I just got to put a roof on it.
Are you doing the work yourself, or are you
Yep.
hiring?
Doing it myself. Got a plan, rough, bill of materials list and stuff from Menards. They have a little kiosk thing that you can plug in all your information. It gives you kind of little drawings.
Oh, nice. Is that something you used to do for a living? Like, were you
No,
you were in construction, or you're just making it up as you go?
I have a basic knowledge of it.
Yep.
I've helped build. I've helped build a garage before and stuff. A few other things. I've helped people. I got a basic idea what has to be done. So yeah, it's 20 by 36.
Is it going to be for a layout, or is it like house? Is it your house thing? For your
It's for vehicles.
vehicles? Yeah, that's sorry. Living in an apartment, sometimes these house, terms
Yeah.
are difficult to
Yeah.
to understand.
Yeah, it's a detached garage.
Okay.
It's 20 feet wide by 36 feet deep.
Wait, 20 by 36. Oh, that makes sense, right? Because a car, right, is like 8 feet wide, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get you. Yeah. I was thinking 36 was like huge, but it makes sense.
36 feet deep is kind of big.
Is it? Oh, okay.
The old
So
garage
will you have space? Like, will you do some of your modeling out there, or is it primarily it'll just be for like cars and yard stuff and that sort of thing?
It used to, before it had a shop area in the back. It had a divided wall. It had a shop that was, what was it, 20 by 11. This time I'm thinking about keeping it open and putting a lot of cabinet work in that area. And then I like to do woodworking,
Oh, okay.
and I want to put some saws and stuff. But yeah, it's what is
Yeah, I
it?
would love to have a workshop.
Yeah,
love
it's the ceilings are 9 3/4 feet tall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The normally garage doors are 7 feet tall openings. This one's got an 8 foot.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to go higher, but the local code would only let me go up to 10,
Yeah, of course.
of course. But I'm doing a real steep pitch roof. It's almost, what is it?
Will you have an attic up there then?
Yes. The middle of it will be, well, it's an 8/12 pitch, which means for every foot that it runs across the front, it goes up 8 inches.
Okay.
So the middle of it's about 80 inches.
And will it be like a finished attic? Is that how it'll work, or
No.
Okay.
Well,
Officially, it won't be a finished attic.
yes.
Yep.
When it gets wired up and stuff, there will be no outlets. There'll be lights up there. There'll be floor, and it'll be somewhat insulated.
Yep.
But after everything gets all closed up, that might just change.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. After the inspector comes.
Yes.
I'm assuming the inspector's not going to be watching this YouTube channel, but you
I
never
doubt
know.
it. Never know. I figure because the ends of the front and back of the garage run north and south. So I'm thinking doing some solar panels on the south side
Oh, nice. Oh, good. Yeah.
and run 12-volt battery system to run the train.
Oh, that'd be cool. You know what I never understood, and it was sort of one of these things like I wonder like why it's not being done. With so much 12-volt and LED lighting available, why are solar panels still being for lighting still being converted to 110 and then dropped back down to 12 volts instead of just taking the 48 volts or whatever it is out of the solar panel and dropping it down to 12? Like, I don't know why solar panel technology and lighting and whatnot technology hasn't sort of
I don't know.
kind of caught up with each other in a sense where they, you know, I just feel like solar panels, part of the inefficiency is that you're
Converting.
converting up to 110 to go back down to,
12.
and you just don't need to do that anymore.
Well, it depends on what if you're doing more than just lighting. I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked into it. I got to do some more research into it.
And then remember how I had issues over here? Yeah. So what I did was, see the weathered rock wall?
Yep. So I got I got the template made for the rafters. So I just got to cut everything and then start nailing it up.
I did the same thing over there, put the tunnel in Old Route 66. And half this over the federal quarry I talked about, and between the two sections. So that's what this is. Simulated. Put the frame.
Is Steve talking to us?
No, I don't think so.
Bridge.
Yeah, Sparky just said because solar panels produce a certain power and then has to be transformed to other voltages. But Sparky, my understanding is that solar panels are usually like 48 volts. So instead of converting it from 48 to 120, why not convert it from 48 to 24 or even to 12
Here.
and then just install all 12 volt or 24 volt lighting in your house?
Route 66.
Because then you're not losing as much energy to heat in the conversion.
Yeah. Picture of the vehicle.
Or he says because it's normally cheaper to go to 110.
Oh. I guess because that's what exists right now, primarily.
Yeah, probably it's just more costly to go to the other voltage.
I guess I just feel like if the industry changed, to sort of meet to sort of handle all the LED lighting in a better way, that the prices would eventually drop. Hopefully, the prices would eventually drop.
It's not as popular, but costs more.
Right, and that's the issue. Until the
More common, more wanted, more produced.
I just feel like it's been a thing for a long time. Like solar and 12 volt lighting has been a thing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And personally, I just got tired of installing. I used to work in an architectural lighting design firm, and I used to hate dealing with all of the 12 volt transformers on everything. They were just so inefficient, and they burned up constantly. And I mean, they were cheap though. I mean, like That was the thing. They were really cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, also cleaning out this room so wife can have it.
This was closed. Came off right here. That's why it was cut.
I wish we could mute Steve.
Oh, Scott was here. He could.
Yeah.
It's sinking. It's falling.
I love having the up-down desk. I mean, it's just so awesome. Oh, oops. I just almost pushed my bookcase over, though, which is not something I should be doing. I have to, creatively put things in different places. So I take my module with the scenery on it and put it on top of the bookcase, and then clamp it on so it doesn't fall off.
Okay.
Just because I don't really have anywhere else to store it. Uh-oh. I just hit the button and started going up. But yeah, I mean, surprisingly, this is working fairly well. Although once I start putting scenery on this stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That'll be a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, right now they basically all just stack on top of each other. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
But they all, the wood ones are much easier because they stack a lot easier than the foam ones. But I just stack them all up, and then they just sit on the floor under my desk.
Okay.
Which isn't ideal, obviously, but
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. You wanna play with toys? Gotta make some compromises.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So like, I don't know. You see like this stack of stuff, then just thing goes under my desk.
Okay.
And then the tables fold up and they slide under the desk and.
Oh, it's gonna be fun once my wife gets home.
It's gonna be fun when your wife gets home. I don't quite understand.
Yeah, it's I got a package from my dad. He lives out in Arizona. Some photos. He was going through the house in Arizona, and there's a bunch of pictures that my mom was keeping. And he asked me if I wanted them. And he said sure, and so he sent them. So I started going through it, and they're all my baby pictures.
Oh, nice.
My wife has never seen them.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it's funny because we've been talking. She mentioned something about, can't remember what it was, but it was about my early schooling and stuff. And in there, they're little report cards.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. I guess I wasn't the greatest child I thought I was.
So you didn't pay attention in school?
No, I didn't. That's what came up in a lot of the report cards.
That's too funny. I remember my, I used to get like an A- or something in science class, and I think it was in 9th grade during one of the like parent-teacher nights. The science teacher, ran to my parents and basically said, you know, he does really well in class. It'd be really amazing if he actually opened the book sometime, because I was good at just listening and being a part of the conversation, and I would learn that way,
Yeah.
but I was not a book smart person. So like I would help people because like I could look at the book and remember what the teacher said and then explain it,
Okay.
but I couldn't read a book and like actually like know what was going on.
Comprehend.
Yeah,
Comprehend it.
so it was like I just never read.
When you lower yourself, or put a camera down and
Yeah.
Looks like blind as a bat. Scott is back.
high level.
Yep.
Right now, just before for
Yes, yes, I am. I'm getting my eyes done this Thursday, and I'll be raring to go again. All right, so I pulled a couple things out. What I was hoping to get was a Bill Selleck that I did his wiring for his lights on an N-scale module that he brings around the shows with us, able to get on here. He can't at this point in time, but we're going to get together and we're going to do it. But I brought a couple other things. I got, if you can see this N-scale covered hopper, can you make that out? Can you read what it says?
Reindeer
Farms.
Yes. This is one of the cars that John printed
cool.
on his printer. In N-scale. Both sides.
Nice.
That's that. And then I get it out of the box here.
Whew.
this side works.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
cold here,
cold
too.
outside.
This switch.
Oh,
Probably
Man,
finally
I
starting to
need
get a
to
little nice
find a
here.
spot for a lot of this stuff.
So it's gotta be.
My desk has gotten ridiculous.
and here, if you guys can see this,
Nice.
here is the Atro version. All right. We painted these in house because the rooftop is red, and John did the decals. He also does. There's also end markings on here too, I believe. But yeah, but it does so small. Some of these cars that you get, you can't read the letters, especially on N scale. His printing is so clear, you could read each individual letter.
Yeah, that's the advantage of printing them on
it.
versus decals.
Well, even his decals, you can even read the printing that way too as well.
Mm.
They're very
Nice.
crisp and clear. Now, get any of the decals, they are, and I'll be doing some videos on it. They are a little thicker. The paper is a little thicker.
Okay.
You do the normal cut and put it in water and let it slide off. But we don't use microsol or microset. We just use regular Walther's Solvaset. And you let it soak just like anything else. And apply it and let it dry. Of course, you gloss coat your cars first, and then you put the decal on.
Yep.
But some people have used microsol and microset. For some reason, it doesn't work as good. And you have seen some people make comments on the Facebook page and say, you know what, the decals aren't blah 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 blah. Well, they're used to micro decals.
Micro scale.
Yeah, microscale decals. They're
Yep.
used to Walther's decals. They're used maybe to Rail Graphics decals and different things. But yeah, you use straight Solvaset on the CMR decals, and they'll just work fine.
What's the person's name at CMR? Sandy or something that does them?
Uh,
Sandra?
Sasha,
Sasha.
S-A-H-A, Sasha. But yeah, she does good work there, and that's John's better half.
Oh. Oh, fun. Okay.
So now you know, and she takes care of all the paperwork and everything else. So she's the one that usually does the correspondence for different things. She takes care of all the paperwork. Now, for all you people out there who want something a little bit different,
Do you have reindeer sounds in those reindeer cars?
No, but I did have. We went to the N-Scale convention in Altoona a couple years ago, and we had the T-Track module set up, and I had a farm playing farm sounds. And on one of my sound chips, somebody was talking about a Family Guy episode of Wilford Brimley doing his diabetes commercial. Well,
Yep.
I pulled a sound chip of Wilford Brimley and started playing that, the whole spiel.
Yeah.
Soundboards, the soundboards we put into box cars, HO scale box cars, and we used battery power, and we also used power from the trucks. And once I go up to my box trailer and get everything out, I'll be able to do more stuff on video. N scale, we don't have things small enough for N scale yet. We are working on it because these aren't.
But like, why isn't that the coder on the website?
What's that?
Why isn't that the coder on the website? Are you
Because
selling them or not selling them?
because it's not a decoder. It is a mini microchip attached to a speaker. We can load different sound files on it because it's not a. It's basically just a sound module. It's not a decoder.
All right, so then why isn't the sound module on the website?
Because I have to build them. No, I get the PCBs flown in from China, obviously. But
Of course,
I found a PCB company out in Colorado that I've been in talks with to making large scale runs at like 100, 150, 200, at a very minimal cost. And I'm waiting for quotes from them because I have several Eagle files that I've made for the crossing flasher, for the feeder board, for the sound board and whatnot. And I told them, I'll give you all 3 of these files to start with and make runs to keep costs down. And they said that wouldn't be a problem. So,
yeah.
And then I just have to source out the stuff from DigiKey and Mouser and everything else, which their prices are very reasonable. That's where I get all my electronics from.
Yep.
But if you guys want something really different,
Huh? They're talking about Melvin?
this here, can you guys see this box?
Move it over.
This way?
Get it in the screen. Other way. Other
This
way.
This way.
There you go. Brick model railroader. What the heck is that?
This is Legos. All right?
What?
These are Legos. You see the back?
Yeah.
These are
Those are
Legos.
Legos?
These are Legos.
Who makes that?
Glenn and Cal out of Eastern PA started the Lego Brick Builder or the Brick Modeler. They have a brickmodeler.com. You can Google them. A few years back, and there are Lego user groups, and there's what's called L-Gauge, which is Lego Gauge, and they do have some standards. They have 14 kits on their website, and they build Lego train cars and locomotives and stuff like that to scale. It's not like the regular Lego train sets you see in the stores or whatever. They have done drawings and plans so you can source the bricks, and they give you the instructions. They've got special wheels they made. They just released this month a real scale knuckle coupler to be used on Lego trains.
What do you know what size Lego scale is? Is it? I'm assuming it's bigger than HO.
It's between O scale and G scale.
Oh, it's bigger than O. Okay.
It's roughly the size of maybe say Atlas O type thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't run on O scale track, of course. It runs on the Lego track. But they've also started making scale Lego track in different curves and radiuses. Same thing with the turnouts. They're starting to make scale turnouts that you would see. And there's different plans and instructions that you either purchase or download from them and others. So the Lego train community is actually pretty big. They set up at the National Train Show for the NMRA. They set up local train shows in different regional parts of the world. They set up at Brickfest. They set up at Brick World. And they're trying to, there's a big following of this. And they're trying to work with the Lego Corporation to develop a train Lego scale type thing.
I was gonna say, I was wondering if they just used 3D printers for everything.
They for the knuckle couplers, they're actually metal, and they've partnered with Kadee to make them.
Oh, really? Oh.
They the enclosures for the different styles of couplers actually attach to the Lego bricks, and they give instructions of how to set them. They also have a Lego height gauge that they're manufacturing, and there's one company called Brick Tracks. They are ABS. They 3D print the master, and then they make everything in ABS. And some of them are doing injection molds. When Lego discontinued their 9-volt rail system, there was a company called ME Bricks out of the central United States that started making Lego compatible electric rails. So they're filling a niche. I mean, I grew up with Lego trains, and I still have them packed away. And
I've never had Lego trains. They were always so expensive.
oh, they still are. But but a lot of someone was saying last night, or that Armidas or whoever the kid's name,
Yeah, right.
was talking about young kids not in the hobby and it's expensive. Well, I know a lot of the train shows that we even take the decals and T-track modules to. There have been Lego sets set up there.
Yep. Yeah, I see people setting up the Lego sets, but I don't see a lot of people buying the Lego sets.
Yeah. So there's a lot of young people, even adults, because it's called AFOL, Adult Fans of Legos. But if you go on look up on YouTube, there's several videos.
Oh, I know I know Legos are a big freaking deal.
But let me tell you, some of those YouTube videos, and if you go on Flickr and look up Lego trains, you'll see this setup. Matter of fact, one guy made an exact replica of the Cleveland Union Station. One guy made a replica of the Empire State Building. Different things. I mean,
did you see my check out my video number 24, but go all the way to the end? The guy used to do all this model train stuff, but at some point he stopped and he's doing everything with Lego now.
yes.
And he's created like all of Disney World out of Lego. Like, I mean, just these huge Lego setups. It's unbelievable.
It is. And that's really, I mean, some of the stuff is very detailed that you see. And they try to emulate the real world in making their designs. People used to think that Lego was so blocky and brick looking, but I tell you what, you look at a lot of different shapes they're making out of Legos now.
Well, now you can 3D print your own Legos. Just don't call them Legos, and you don't violate the whatever. And
Exactly.
you do what you need to do.
Exactly. So that is another thing too. If you're into that, I build one car and I send it up to John to get 3D printed. Get the decals put on with this printer.
A Lego car.
Yes.
You're talking about Lego, yeah.
But in the next upcoming things, I got to dig out a lot of my electronics here, and I'll be able to demonstrate the sound modules. That's why I asked you, Keith, of what kind of stuff do you want to have on your T-tracks there? Because I see you have the circus train. I don't know if you have a circus module or not, but
the module that was on the far side is going to be my circus module.
Okay.
And I already have, and I can't really pull it out just because it's all buried, but I already have like a bunch of Faller, like carnival and circus stuff. I've got a circus tent. I've got, like a whole bunch of models. I don't have a lot of the animation stuff, but I do want, part of my issue, it's not really an issue, is I want a lot of it to be DCC controlled because I want to be able to, or LCC, like, whatever. But I want it all to be able to be like automated somewhat. Like, I don't just want it to be on and off.
Right.
I want there to be a way where like this part of the scene comes alive, and then this part of the scene comes alive, and then the train comes through and this comes alive. Like, I want it to actually be more animated. So that's why, like, I've got this guy here that I want to build, and I've got the Walthers motor, and I'm probably going to put a DCC, a simple DCC motor decoder on the motor for that,
Right.
so that I can control it via whatever, and all my lighting stuff too. Did you look up Model Train technology? I think you'd like. They have a DCC LED controller that's pretty impressive.
What I've been experimenting with is with this gentleman who's got the N scale modules. We were talking about going past certain areas and having things animated. I did a test with just using
Which guy are you talking to?
the Bill Selleck up in
Do
Michigan.
I know him?
Bill Selleck.
I don't know if I know him.
No, I don't think you do. He is related
Okay.
to Tom Selleck, though.
Is he really? That's
Yes,
funny.
he is. He is a cousin, and he's the one I've been doing all the testing with on the modules, and that's why I replaced his Just Plug system with the Arduino system. I put a current sensor on one of his tracks, and we did some lighting effects there. When the train went through that current sensor, it detected it, and the
Yep.
light and sound turned on in his building. So different
Right.
things like that.
Yep.
So
Yep, that's the kind of stuff that I definitely want to,
yeah, and it's independent. It's independent of the DCC system.
Oh, I see. So you couldn't trigger it with a fast clock then.
Well, you could. You'll have to wire the stuff that I manufacture and make up to a decoder, accessory decoder.
Oh, yeah, right.
And
And
then
then just
plug it
turn
in
on
that
or
way.
off the accessory decoder.
And the
Yeah.
accessory decoder would be hooked up to your DCC bus, and you run your fast clock and everything.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing now, basically. Then.
Yes,
I'm just,
But
I'm taking
anything-
analog things and hooking
anything I
decoders
send
up to them.
Right. Anything I send you to test out, you'll be able to do that,
Yeah, gotcha.
which is good. So different animations. I used to have. I may have. I'm not sure though. I used to have. Do you remember when the animated circus stuff, carnival things came out back in like the 80s, early 90s? I think Tycho made them. I think.
Say it one more time. Sorry, I got distracted by an email.
Oh, that's
What
okay.
is it?
Doggy. Back in the 80s, early 90s, I think Tycho or IHC had their carnivals.
I didn't see their. I don't think I saw theirs.
And they were actually motorized. They had a Ferris wheel. They had a
Oh, that's
merry-go-round. And they had the swings, I believe. You might find the vintage stuff on eBay, but Tycho Carnival or IHC Carnival stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen their stuff. Most of the stuff I have is from Faller.
Yeah, Faller. They had that roller coaster set, I believe, too.
Faller does?
I believe so. One of the companies made a roller coaster.
Well, I know there's a company out there called like Model Railroad Roller Coaster or something like that I've gotten some stuff from, and they do roller coaster and circus stuff.
Mm-hmm. It might have been. I know I saw it in the Walther's catalog. I do know that. But
I have I buy the big Walters catalogs, and I'll just sit there and like page through them, and
oh, your
my girlfriend's like, "What the heck are you looking at?" And I'm like, "Look!"
Yep, that's just like the old.
What are you looking at?
That's like the old Sears Roebuck catalog that used to come.
Right. Yes. Except to me, a lot more interesting.
But yeah, so again, in the upcoming weeks here, I'm going to be doing some demo videos, decaling, and I do have one of those I got from DCC Specialist. I do have one of those long test tracks. I got the extra length for HO and N. So I'll set that up, and I'll be doing some demo videos, some programming videos as well. Because we need more of that. We really do need more of that demonstration stuff, because there's nobody out there. I'm actually surprised that a lot of the DCC manufacturers aren't putting together videos like that.
Well, and that's where I think like CMR, being a smaller company, can take advantage of something like YouTube to, get more stuff out there. But like there's not really a lot on YouTube, and what is on YouTube is like years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's partly why. Like I actually have some easy streets right here that I need to that I want to do a video on, because there's no video on easy streets. So it's like people have no idea
It's
what
not.
it is.
It's not a We were at the just a regular Christmas party, all of us together, and like I told you the story before.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
It was just I said, John, can't we just print something on styrene? Because the only thing for roads was the Walthers stuff, and that was in brick. There really wasn't no concrete. There wasn't any modern stuff. And then some other companies had that peel and stick road stuff that was like some kind of foam. But everybody else was just using sheet styrene. They were scoring it with an X-Acto knife, or they were painting it, and then using pinstriping for the lines and stuff like that. I said there has to be an easier way to do all this. I said, can't you just? Because I asked him a question. I said, well, if you can print on railroad cars, N scale, HO, up to O scale, you can't do anything larger than O scale. I said, can't you print on styrene? Because I wanted a building that wanted a.
Yeah.
I wanted it inside. I wanted a side
But,
inside.
like, why not promote it though? I mean, like, there's a company, Highways and Byways, right? All they do is print decals for people to do roads.
Yes, and that's what
and
John,
that is their whole business.
that's what John was starting to do too. He was making decals.
Well, and that's what I got. I got the decals for the railroad crossings and whatnot. It's like, but like, put out some videos on it, and it could take off. Because there's so many people out there that want a simple way to build roads and don't have it, and aren't going to come across easy streets.
Right. See, the company that John is using, because he's outsourced it to a sign company out in Chicago, actually.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And John has become their biggest customer, because when he sent them the drawings and stuff like that, and we've been on phone calls with them as well, and this was something new for the sign company, and we've been their biggest customer.
Yeah.
And so doing all of this with them, because they have to cut it the size, because we don't cut it, the manufacturer does it, and so they set up a whole little area in this sign shop of Easy Street stuff.
Yep.
And so and sometimes it's hard to get stock because they are a big sign company out there. So even though
obviously CMR is doing well enough that they don't need to do the extra marketing. But I guess I just wonder, like, what could they become if they started doing the extra marketing? But that's why too, like, I'm glad they got in. I'm glad I got in with them early as a sponsor on YouTube, because I'd like to see us all kind of grow together. And
exactly, and that's the point. That's the point.
Yeah, make it a big thing. Like Highways and Byways. A lot of people know about it because of Vinny,
right?
And then Vinny hooked up Highways and Byways with Yankee Dabbler, so now Yankee Dabbler sells Highways and Byways, and it's kind of like, I'd like to, like, Iron Planet Hobbies. It's like, maybe Brian should talk to Ryan and see if he wants to, offer it in his store.
Right.
Or whatever. And then it would make it easier on Brian, because then somebody else could be filling orders,
Right, exactly. Most of the income that has been with CMR, all of us have day jobs.
No, I know. Yeah.
Eric works
Brian
for
told me
FedEx,
that.
HR director for FedEx. Brian works for the government. Him and his wife both work for the government. I do my railroading stuff. Actually remote now since the virus and all that.
Yeah.
But most of the income was from the shows, as it always has.
Oh, interesting. Right. Right. Because you're at the shows and everybody sees it. Right. But now there's no shows.
Right. Exactly. The eBay store is basically, and their website, decal buyers. Most of the income from that is all decals. Yeah, we've got the other stuff that's there, and the printing and stuff like that, but everything has been coming from decals.
Now, do you guys keep the LED stuff in stock, or do you guys?
Yes.
That would be something I would think, if you can get that word out.
And some of the electronic stuff that is listed on the website. Very little, because that's my area. I've been taking all the ready-made stuff that's on there and putting it into circuit board, like the campfire, the arc welder. You basically have to put it all together yourself. But I'm making kits. where you just hook up a
Well,
battery, a wall wart, and be done with it.
There's other companies that do those similar kits, and they sell them either as a kit or as an assembled.
And they also are triple the price too.
Correct, they are. Which,
And that-
which
that
again, it's like, you know, if CMR did a little bit more marketing online. Now, obviously, things have changed a lot. You know, they don't have the train shows anymore to do their marketing for them. So
this is why I'm going to start sending you stuff here after I get my eyes fixed.
yeah,
Where
I mean,
you
I'll
can-
make videos on all that
Yes,
stuff. you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, the lights I got last time, like for that stack on the fire, was from Evan Designs.
Yep. That's the other company that makes them. And also Nick from Nick PGH Train Fanatic
Right.
on his website. He also does.
I know he sells them, but does he make them?
I don't know the answer. It kind of I don't know the answer. I'm not 100% sure.
I saw him at a train show not too long. Before
Yeah,
virus.
he's in your area.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
They had a couple. Yeah, I know who he is.
He
I spoke with
prints
him.
all of his background stuff himself.
Yes, that is correct. Yes. Yes.
I asked him because I was gonna try and hook him up with Brian and have Brian print all of his stuff for him. You know, so he could focus on the design side and have somebody else do all the other stuff. But then when he said he does it at home, I was like, oh, Brian's never going to be able to compete with that price wise.
Well, which is fine. But when I was at the Altoona show and I was building these sound modules because I take my junk with me because it's in the trailer, and I build stuff. And I put on
that makes sense. Yep.
So people see it.
That was something, Scott, that you said on a live stream a week or two ago about your sound modules.
Yes.
And that's come up in the not so distant future. I'm going to have to get with you on because I've got a stockyards and packing plant that I want to be able to have, you know, cows and pig sounds.
Yep.
I did a farm. I did that, and I put it underneath the farm module right there. And the guy looked at it and says, "You selling that?" And I said, "Well, not really. It's demo because I'm demoing." He goes, he gave me a $20 bill and said, "Here, sold." Didn't even have a price on it. So fine.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd love
came over.
train station.
People want that stuff.
A programmable train station sounds where you can add your own.
Yes.
Like now arriving track.
Yep.
3 Santa Fe Super Chief. Arriving track 2 Burlington Blackhawk. You know, or department things like that.
And the way the sound module does work is you can hook it up to a power supply. You can hook it up to a battery. You can hook it up to a wall wart. You can hook it up to whatever you want because there's 3 different jacks on this sound module. Also, if you want your own sounds on it,
what power does it take, Scott?
It takes a 9-volt. It could take a 12-volt.
Okay.
It could take a LiPo battery.
Yeah, I've got a 12-volt DC bus for my accessories.
It has 2 types of terminals on it. You've got a headphone jack type terminal on it. And you'll also have 2 screw terminals on there to go to external speakers if you want to.
Okay.
There is a volume button on it and a track selector button on it and a SD card. You can put an SD card in it.
So you pull the SD card, take it to your computer, create your own WAV file.
Exactly. We make it so you can do it yourself, or if you want some of our pre-made sounds on it, we'll do it. Not a big deal.
How much
Is
are
there a voltage regulator on it so you can
Yes, there
basically
is.
put anything in it up to whatever and it'll run?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually this week I'm gonna go get a couple of them and because I have some other things to work on. But I'll show pictures or a video on it and a demonstration of it and different speakers and stuff you can hook onto it and the different ways to power it. So
where do they run, Scott?
But that one guy, because I gave him everything out of my hand. He just gave me a $20 bill. I was working on a different. That was version number 1. I got version number 2 done and in before the virus hit, and we were ready to take them. Normal stuff that you would buy for these they range anywhere from $20 to $40. All right, if you do research online.
Well,
My goal was to give
I
it
mean,
out.
Soundmax has that decoder, right?
What's that?
how much do you sell yours for?
I would have sold them between 10 to 15, depending if you wanted a supply with it, if you wanted a speaker with it, if you just wanted a bare board to put your own SD card in it, $10.
Oh shit.
Done. You have to do everything else, but if you can do everything else, see, I was going to sell them into a complete kit with the options because not everybody wants to do that. Everybody just wants everything already, which is fine. We plan on selling with pre-made sounds already in it. You select the sound, you take it and go.
What about with sound, without power, with the SD card, with the speaker, and hooking up your own sound?
If you want a full kit, probably $15.
Oh shit.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I want, like for my
Soon as-
layout, though. Like
As
having
soon as
that.
I get my blame,
But if you have everything else, $10. You get the board, you do everything else.
as soon as I get my blame Heath shit, I'll order a couple modules from you.
Why are you waiting?
I'm on a limited income, retirement,
yeah.
and
But yeah,
I get Social Security and 2 pensions and a 401k.
Tell your wife she can eat next week that you've got some model railroad stuff to buy.
Well, we're at the end of the month.
I know. Oh, believe me, I know.
You have to wait until the 3rd, right?
Oh, I don't even have to wait that long
No, okay.
because I get stuff direct deposited right at the first of the month.
Yeah, first. First is on Sunday, so you'll
It may hit tomorrow.
today or tomorrow. Yeah, my mother's the same way.
It may already be there.
Yeah. Well, you don't sound that old.
I'm 62. I was fortunate enough to be able to
Oh
retire,
wow,
62.
retire at 58.
wow, good for you.
Yeah, good. Not too many people can do that.
I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to retire. It's kind of my approach these days.
Hey, as long as the government doesn't figure out a way to crack RRB. See, John Kerry tried to.
RRB?
Railroad Retirement Board. I've been
Oh.
railroading since my early 20s. I got 20 years in already. I can't
Trump
retire.
wants to.
Hey,
Trump wants to defund Social Security.
John Kerry, unions usually vote Democrat no matter who's in there. When John Kerry was pushing himself, I found information from John Kerry's people, straight from them, that wanted to crack open RRB to help fund Social Security at that time.
Oh, interesting.
I showed this stuff, and the railroader guys got ticked off because that's all privately funded. Nobody can touch it.
how can I order today?
You can't. You can't. I'll let you know.
All right.
I will physically have the stuff in my hand this weekend from the trailer. I'll put a video blurb on it. And you have my email, scott.catalano@gmail.com.
I want 2 with speaker and sounds, train sounds and on one and station sounds on the other. I'll hook up my own power.
All right. If you find station files, I use generic station files. I use generic everything.
That's fine. Yeah, generic on both is fine. I can customize after the fact.
Right, exactly.
All right. Now, what's that Blame Heath website? By the way, in case you were wondering,
That's the website, blameheath.com.
in case you were wondering, it's already hit
What do you mean it's already hit?
my income.
Your order?
No, my income.
Oh,
Yep.
really? It already hit?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the first is on a Sunday.
Right. And once you reminded me of that, I went and looked.
Now he has to budget for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
You've got Thanksgiving coming up. I don't know if they do any Black Friday shopping, but
I'm good. Trust me, I'm good after. Well, I'm good now for that. BlameHeath.com.
yeah. Also, the other website I have is allscaletrains.net. That's a forum style. I used to have a forum site many years ago called hoscalers.com, and we got up there to about 1,000 people, And that was before I got hired on the railroad. And just after that, it just fell apart.
It
Well-
didn't like blameheath.com.
What?
BLAMEHEATH.com.
Yeah, maybe try www. Maybe it didn't redirect.
Okay.
Uh,
There's a link in the chat.
Yep. I got it.
I'll have to fix that redirect. It's supposed to be a wild card redirect, but
It doesn't always work.
yeah, I literally set it up last night at 8 o'clock or something. I forget exactly. I was just chatting with somebody and they were like, they mentioned the Blame Heath thing, and it was like, oh, that should be I should sell that. I should make money off my misery.
There you go.
Absolutely.
It takes about 24 hours to propagate through all the root servers throughout the internet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually surprised how fast it actually went in a lot of cases.
Yep.
It's a lot faster than it was back in the early 90s when I was,
That's
trying
true.
to set up stuff on GeoCities. That's for darn sure.
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago.
So
Yeah,
I'm trying to look. I don't need hoodies. I'm in Florida.
So I've got a shirt like this, which is the all over print, that on the sleeve, instead of saying Human City Junction, it says Blame Heath. And these shirts are actually, the fabric of these shirts is, I think, just great.
Well, the one that I see that's like that, it says Humanity Junction on it, on the sleeve.
Hold on.
It says
Why am
Humanity
I- oh,
Junction
name
all
sheet.
over T-shirt.
I thought I switched it on the sleeves to Blame Heath, but maybe it's
The picture and the description says all over T-shirt, humanity, your junction shirt. You know.
ba, 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 ba. Oh yeah, so the oh wait a second. From Blame Heath. This is the wrong one.
I would think so.
That's the regular one.
Yeah.
That's not the right one. Hold on.
Okay.
See?
Let's go listings. Teespring is great and all, but man, does it suck. Holy crap. I mean, it's just
Now,
Oh.
I used Teespring back in the early 2000s for my stuff. I had printed up for my model railroad crew T-shirts. And then I went over to, I believe it's Queensboro Shirt Company. And they
know
were a
them.
little bit better than Teespring. I actually had lapel pins and magnets made by Queensboro as well. And I liked M&Ms. And one Christmas present they gave me, because our Model Railroad Club has a Christmas get-together, and somebody got me blue and white M&Ms with my railroad logo on the M&M.
Nice.
Yeah, M&Ms were doing a special customize your own M&M type thing.
Yep, I remember that.
I don't know if
I
they
fixed
still,
it, Steve.
Okay. I'll do a refresh.
I don't know if they still do that or not, but that was neat.
I put the link in the YouTube chat too. Yeah, see, it says it's a wild card. It's a wild card redirect. So I don't know why it's not redirecting, but I'm
I did
gonna.
a refresh, and the old one's gone, but the new one isn't there. Let me do a refresh again.
Click the link in the YouTube chat. It should take you there.
Try it
I
on your
already
phone.
have stuff in my cart.
Try it on your
It shouldn't
phone.
matter.
It shouldn't.
No.
Here's the magnet I had done up. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
If you stop moving it.
It won't
So
let me.
P&O is your made up railroad, or is it a real railroad?
YouTube chat.
Yeah, YouTube chat.
P&O,
Oh.
the Pittsburgh and Ohio.
There it is.
Was Pittsburgh in Ohio a real?
No, it was not. It was not ever. The Pittsburgh and Ohio Central, Pittsburgh and Ohio Valley. And before I got the two domain names, PNORR.com and the Pittsburgh and Ohio Railroad.com, I made sure I went to the National Railroad Registry name and made sure that name was not a railroad at all ever on the books. And I
That's
went,
what we did with STS as well. We went and checked that STS was not an existing reporting mark.
and I also got.
I'm not seeing it, Heath.
The link you're not seeing, or the shirt
No,
you're not
no,
seeing?
I'm on the link, and yeah, it still has my stuff in the cart. But I don't see the new shirt.
It should be the last item on the. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom,
It's
basically it just says Blame Heath, and then there you can see the logos on the sleeves also.
It just has Premium T as the last one. I'll do a refresh.
What? What you talking about, Willis?
I'm just telling
What are you
you.
talking about?
Yeah, it's
Share
it's
screen.
all over.
Share screen, Chrome tab, Blame Heath. Steve, what, are you gonna blame me? Hey Scott, hit my little screen thing up so that it pops up.
Hit which little screen
One
thing?
little screen
Ah, it came up for me.
Below Dave P on the bottom.
right
It
there.
came up.
There you go. Okay, so on my screen, I just scroll down to the bottom, and this is it down here, the very
Yeah, mine
bottom.
came up. When I checked on mine, it came up.
It's not showing for me. Maybe it's because I was into the site before you made the change and refreshing.
You should
Uh,
refresh it. It should.
I've refreshed. I've hit the link again, and I'm telling you, the full all Blame Heath is not showing.
Yeah, I mean here it is, all
I was
over
gonna-
print unisex T. Under
Yeah, I was
Blame
gonna-
Heath.
I was in before he changed it and it came up for me. So I don't know what's going on.
Steve, I think you're just broken.
I'm blaming you.
I think it's you. This time, I think it's you.
Well, I've in the cart. I've got a coffee mug and the Premium Tea, so I'll just go with that.
The premium teas are pretty nice too. So the mug, I didn't know this when I first made the mugs, and I've updated it all since.
Uh-huh.
But you can put the logo either just on one side, or you can put like different things on both sides.
Uh-huh.
Or I've been putting the logo on both sides, so no matter whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you know, you can see the logo.
Should get your name put on it. Well, not your name, but the buyer's name or whoever's name.
What I'm thinking of doing for my Patreon people, what I think I'm going to do is for the mugs for the Patreon people, I'm going to like sign it or something, like make a graphic with it signed and like, you know, put the month or something so that it's unique.
There you go. All right. So what do you guys want to see? Since you mentioned it earlier, Heath, about different things. What do you guys want to see? Because I'm open to ideas. I want to demonstrate
$1 million in my bank account.
Well, yeah, we all want to. Well, maybe
Okay, my order's in.
Thank you, Steve.
I mean, I belong to Model Railroad Hobbyist, Trainmaster TV, their specials. I belong to MR Video Plus, their, you know, videos.
So what I think is valuable, so I'm trying to fix stuff, so I raised my desk up. What I think is valuable is showing off the product as you are going to receive it in your hands, what you then need to do with it to make it then look like a finished something. So like what PGH Train Fanatic's been doing lately is he'll do a live stream where the first 30 minutes he'll do a little like 6-inch by 6-inch or 12-inch by 12-inch diorama where he'll put like he'll make a hobo scene with a fire and he'll use the fire in the hobo scene. So he, takes it out of the package, wires it all up, puts his 9-volt battery in, makes his little hobo scene with some grass and stuff, and then boom.
Okay.
Because then, then you see, okay, I got this, and this is a possible outcome.
Just so you know, once I bought my stuff and got out of Teespring,
It showed up.
I went back and to that link, hit it, and yes, now the Blame Heath all over print unisex tee now shows for me. So it had to do something with.
I feel like
I don't
you're
know
trying
how
to
to
blame me for this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm pulling out my tape light ripped on me, so I'm pulling out a bunch of it.
Oh,
Yes.
Here's the
Demo,
funny
that
thing,
kind of stuff. Yeah.
it's still showing the stuff, the other stuff in my cart, even though I got a confirmation on the order.
You can just keep buying it. Keep buying it over and over again. That's okay with me.
It's one of those recurring purchases,
Yeah.
As long as you didn't put an auto pay on it and leave it and forget it type of thing.
You need one mug for every day of the week, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
A big mug.
In
A
that case,
huge
I would
mug.
need one that says Blame Heath Sunday, Blame Heath Monday. Blame
So the Blame Heath store has apparently gotten 11 views and 6 orders.
I told you yesterday. It's gonna be
T-Time's going to have to cut you a commission check now.
And what's funny is I haven't put a video out yet announcing it. I've just posted it a couple places.
yeah.
I mean, I technically did the live stream, but I mean, I haven't done a whole, a whole thing.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, what I used
Are
to
you guys? Is CMR gonna make light strips for passenger cars?
We have been experimenting with this new light strip.
I mean, Digikai's has one. Model Train Market has, everybody and their grandmother has one. So I don't know,
Yeah, and I just watched the episode of Rapido demonstrating theirs.
The
Yeah,
light
I mean,
not the problem. The pickups are the problem.
One thing
well, and that's it. Do you go with battery or do you go with pickups? Now, personally, what I would want would be one with pickups that has a capacitor or a keep alive in it.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to have to change batteries.
Neither do I. And if you look,
But I also don't want the flickering of the old days.
that have wipers for your wheels, but they're harder than hell to install. There's no simple way of doing it.
Model Train Market does a pretty good light unit with capacitors, and they also sell the wipers and all that kind of stuff.
Before we used to operate in Bob's big layout in his basement, and the last year that he was around, I installed a Wow Sound decoder with Keep Alive in my commuter train. I had the P&O commuter train. I had 2 bi-level coaches, and had all the LED lights in it. If you backed up, the red went to white, and vice versa. I had the cab car, had the sound, had the Keep Alive in it, although it was version 1 of it. And Bob had some pretty dirty track, and for being version 1, it worked okay. It wasn't to my liking. So I disconnected the wipers, the wiring to the track, to the wipers, and I put in a couple watch batteries, and that lasted, and the switch, and that lasted for a number of years.
How often do you have to change the batteries? Constant?
I haven't changed the batteries in it yet.
Really?
Yeah. There again, I'm not running it for 4 or 5 hours either.
Yeah, see, I would forget to turn it off and all that nonsense.
Well, way back in the day, there was a guy in the club that he made flickering LEDs, and blinkings for to put in cabooses. It was a battery. You put it in the caboose, and it worked off of one of those cheap 555 timers you got at Radio Shack, plus the LED and the battery. And he used old Game Boy batteries taken out of his grandson's Game Boy at the time, and put it in. He never put on and off switches. He just he just took off the cupola and put the battery in and be done with it. But he would let them go on. You know, one caboose was sitting on a layout for 2 years, and then it finally died. Because those LEDs can keep on going and going and going on those batteries. But that LED kit back then was so heavy, that was the weight of the car.
Right, yeah. And
everything's so micro-sized. I can get little microcontrollers that I have put in cabooses. I put in engines that didn't have sound decoders. I put them in different things, and I didn't want to put an extra light decoder in there. I didn't want to take out the old DCC decoder and put in a fancy lighted decoder with extra functions. So I just put in a regular teeny tiny microcontroller, wired a couple extra LEDs to it, and ran it off the power of the train. But you could take that same design and put it in a DC locomotive and get lights. So
right.
I try and design stuff that is for both. Just like the DC block control video I posted on the YouTube channel. Uses current sensing. Little current sensing stuff you get cheapo from eBay or Amazon.
Right.
Works on DC. And I got to find the other video. Works on DCC. With
See, but so here's the thing, though, right? So yes, it works on DCC, but how does it get the signal back like into JMRI so that I could use Panel Pro and see where my trains are to then trigger the lighting based on where the trains are?
That version is just plain standalone signal system. And I designed that.
So what I use, though, is like the DR4088 is a current sensor with LocoNet that puts it back in the thing, and I think it's $48 or whatever it is. So it's not too expensive, and I don't have to dick around with Arduino and code and all that.
That's the stuff. The stuff that I sell, it's already pre-programmed. You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Through wires to it and be done with it. So, but I use the inexpensive stuff that works. Yeah, I could do the same thing. I mean, I have a Digitrax command station. I've got the wireless. I got the duplex. I've got the U panels and everything like that. You see some of the videos or the future ones I'm posting, which are old videos, but still.
Yeah.
If I want to go out, I can go out and buy all those DC64s. I can go buy the BDL 128s. I can go out and buy them if I want to. But the problem is everybody is looking to save money. And the demo signaling system that I have made, that I've taken to the train shows and showed people, said, look, you can buy it all in kits. You can buy it already assembled. Here's the cost for it. And like the crossing flasher module, you can use your regular LEDs if you want to hook up to your own stuff, or you can use the ready-made stuff that uses common anode and common cathode. Right. And it shows the different terminal strips I made directions for of which ones to connect to, so you can get that. So there is no confusing things. All right. So some of these stuff that I make, all in with parts and everything, less than $10. Which, if I'm making that,
but you're not going to sell it for $10.
No, well,
you'll mark it up 40%, whatever. You'll mark it up 200%.
But that's not the point with CMR products. That's the thing. That's not the point. We're making stuff, or I'm close to making stuff where I know what your pocketbook is. Some of those crossing modules that you get that can do all that fancy stuff is $40 to $60 range.
Yeah.
They throw a couple sensors in there, like Iowa Scaled Engineering sensors or Boulder Engineering sensors, or the regular sensors.
Oh yeah, they're cheap.
All right. So why do I want to go and spend $15 for a BD120 from NCE when I can get that same stuff and put the same stuff together at a fraction of the cost? Yeah, those guys are making money. But if I'm making the same thing and sell it to you at half that cost, we both win.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And that's the point we're getting at. Now, if and I
That's
know
the
a lot
point
of
with
people.
what? Sorry.
I mean, that's the point I know with a lot of people. A lot of people are DIY. If they can follow a couple pictures or a couple paragraphs, they're good to go.
Yeah, I mean that is
They're
what I
good to
like
go.
about
And I'll be showing that more in my
Digitize,
demo.
though. I mean, the Digitize stuff in general is not that expensive. I mean, the DR5000 already comes with the Wi-Fi module, right? It's another $100 from Digitrax and
Exactly.
whatever. So it's like, I mean, yeah, okay. So it's not as popular as Digitrax and whatever, but it's all compatible.
Digitrax Wi-Fi can only handle 4. What does the DR5000 handle?
I don't know the answer. I've never heard of them saying there is a limit.
I don't know. It's my connector. Yeah, the Digitrax, the LNW, whatever it is, it has
LNWI is just
4 or 5.
Yeah, and the Wi-Fi Trax cab bus adapter is only 4 also. Which I don't really understand why they're all only 4.
Yeah,
like what is? I don't know what it.
Because
what is it about them though that
they're using the ESP. ESP.
Oh, okay.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm out here.
The ESP 286
Where are you going?
Wi-Fi
My
module.
wife's coming home pretty soon.
The ESP 286.
Nice. Good for you.
I might get on a little bit if you guys are still on.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, Dave. Do you guys remember? You may be.
See you, Dave.
You must be both maybe too young, but the Sears Wish book for Christmas.
I mean, I know the Sears catalog. I don't know the Wish book.
The Wish book was the Christmas catalog. Very popular in the 60s, maybe even the 70s. Anyway, today I feel like I did then with the.
Well, I was born in '79, so.
With the Wish book, because the new Walters flyer arrived.
Yeah, I love when the Walters stuff shows up.
Yeah, the ESP286 chip module can only handle 4 connections and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's what it is then. That's what they're doing.
And then Walters is using that thing too for their WiFlyer, their Wi-Flyer. But the cool thing about the Wi-Flyer is you hook up, it makes its own access point, and you connect that address to the web browser on your phone, tablet, computer, whatever, and it comes up with a web browser, and you dial in your locomotive address, and you can go. Now, I can't find anything on that says what kind of connection limits is, but I'm assuming they're still using the same thing. But, their thing is like, the entire set that you buy, because it's in a starter set, is like $200. But I think the module itself, if you buy it independently, I think it's $40 to $50.
Still, it's not bad if you just want something out of the box,
Yeah, and I've used. I got a couple Blue Rail trains decoders that I put in. I
was surprised Walther's making point motors, man. Like I thought between, what's her name, Circa, whatever, the Tortoise, and then the Cobalt Blues and whatever. Yeah. Like I thought they had the market cornered, and now
Walther's
is building stuff.
Well,
they're not building it; they're just marketing it under their name. So
yeah, but everybody was jumping on to just plug and play type things, and so Walther's couldn't have been left out.
Yeah,
but Walther's did get all the tooling and stuff from Mr. Shinohara, so everything Walther's is coming out is Shinohara.
Well, I hope they keep making the Shinohara switches and stuff. I mean, I'd hate to see all that go away.
I do have a lot of that in the layout. I do have a lot of that in the corner of the layout. I got to get the camera down there.
Well, I can already see some bulkhead flat cars I need.
Yeah.
Some piggyback trailers. 40 footers.
Steve, when you say need, that's like a need, right? Like it's not like you want it. It's a need.
There's a difference between wants and needs.
That's true.
I took the servant leadership classes. Thank you.
Well, I agree, support your local hobby shop and whatnot. But if you do need stuff, guys, Star Products is an authorized Walthers dealership as well.
Oh,
Who
okay.
is? Oh, CMR. Yeah.
So anything in the catalogs, even you see stuff that's on sale in red letters in there,
Uh-huh.
we can usually get a few more stuff. It was always interesting when Bob would set stuff on his desk. Because Brian and I would go up to his house to run trains on Thursday nights. He had a big group that comes in on Thursdays. We'd go up and have dinner. Like I said, he was a second father. And he would get the new stuff in and he would show us, oh, Scott, because that's where 9 out of 10 of my stuff came from was Bob. He goes, and he would show me, what the price was. And then he'll show me, well, for dealers, this is our price.
Yep. Yep.
But there's a guy that travels around the same train shows that we go to. His name is Kim from Kim's Trains up here in Slippery Rock as well. And he goes to the same shows we do, but he sells things at list price. And he list price. Yes, list price. And he never leaves with anything. He bought his new truck and his new tandem triaxle box trailer that he goes around with.
Wait. When you say list, like you're talking about manufacturer list price.
Yes.
How? What?
Well,
I don't understand.
Selling at MSRP, you should be able to do that. Okay, because that's the same price.
But who's gonna buy stuff at MSRP?
They do.
Dummies.
And he's a retired professor from Slippery Rock University. And the first couple of years, yeah, he made decent. But when he
I
started,
think Slippery something else.
yeah, his fifth and sixth year, he bought his new Ford truck and his new box trailer. But he makes so much business for Walthers, and even CMR, they're a dealer. Even Bob, he was a good dealer. They will drop ship stuff to him at the shows or where he's going.
Yeah.
He's one of the few dealers that Walthers will do that because he brings them in the money.
If Walters was smart, they would have a drop ship program for their brick and mortar places. Because if I had a brick and mortar shop and Walters is selling online direct, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Give me, at least give me the opportunity to order direct from Walters through my local hobby shop.
Right. If they put a hobby shop code or something on it. Yeah, that would be a good program. See,
if I sign into my hobby shop's website as an example, all right, and I pick something out, as long as it's in stock at Walters, they'll drop ship it directly to me under the name of the hobby shop I was signed into.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the model Walters ought to be doing for their online brick and mortar stores.
They should. Hey, it works for Advanced Auto Parts.
You bet.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Advanced Auto Parts same-day delivery, even though they use Roadie as their thing. But I'm going to tell you, I've had to order some parts or whatever. I ordered at 9 a.m. It was here, at least to my house, noon or after.
Yeah. I ran distribution centers, million square foot distribution centers.
Yeah.
I know what can be done and how to do it.
That's like the Clarion Model Rover Club that I belong to also has an in-store hobby shop, which Bob started and ran, and now the club actually does it all. But they had to, even though Bob was a dealer for Walthers and whatnot, the hobby shop and the club Walthers then had a minimum of $3,000 worth of inventory that you had to order. And Clarion Club, they were open to the outside, but he goes, I'll order it under my name and stock the shelves here when he first started back in the 80s or 90s, or whatever it was. But I'll do it here first with that because there was no way that the club was going to be able to get $3,000 for inventory.
Yeah.
Even if he got stuff that they would buy, they wouldn't go through it that much. But some places are different. But back then, Walthers had a $3,000 minimum order. Now I'm a dealer for and I partnered with Bob at the time because he didn't do Tony's Trains and I did. So I was able to get stuff from Tony's Trains at dealer cost.
Tony!
AHM, I think it was, or AHD, American Hobby Distributors, whatever his company was called at the time.
I did not know that Tony's Trains made, I think it's DCC Concepts or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kept looking for a DCC Concepts website, and
Yeah.
I could only find Tony's Trains.
That's
and I
right.
was just starting to get really pissed off because it was like, I don't want to see the distributor's information. I want to see it from the main guy.
Right.
And there's no indication whatsoever that it's an in-house brand for them. So it was like I eventually figured it out, but it I was getting frustrated.
QSI was an in-house as well. Until the guy who was head of QSI fizzled everything out.
I didn't know that. QSI.
Yeah,
I don't know that
Quantum Sound Innovations, I believe it was.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he had connections. I've got several Atlas locomotives with QSI sound in them. I've got several. Matter of fact, the videos that I post on YouTube of the I-80 train running, those are QSI decoders, and the sounds are good. But when they were manufacturing them, when that big crunch happened a while back in 2008, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
And then with that one manufacturer in China just closing up shop without any notice, that destroyed a lot of the model railroad companies because Atlas used them, Bachmann used them. Bachmann got smart after that. They bought their own factory.
So most of them, I thought, used Cater these days, at least for their rolling stock.
Who?
Cater, Kader. They're based in Hong Kong.
I think a couple of them do, but I think a lot of them pulled out. I know Concord brought stuff back to the States. Bachmann got smart, like I said, they bought their own factory. Rapido did the same thing. They had their own factory over there. A couple other companies went that route as well.
Yeah. I know Microtrains does all their stuff in-house.
Yeah, because when that factory closed, there went their dies, there went their tooling, because a lot of these companies didn't own their own dies and tooling.
Right.
That's why Atlas for a while said, we can't get track. We can't get this. Everything's delayed. Well, they were scrambling to try to figure out what to do with all their dies and products and everything. So hobby is
here. Yeah, the hobby's not dying, but it's definitely true. People don't have the disposable income that they used to.
No, if I'm starting over and an N scale locomotive is just as much as an HO scale locomotive. Now, there was one guy that I worked with on the railroad, and he was like one of the only other modelers on the railroad. And he did Lionel and MTH. He was a bachelor, had his own house, turned the second floor into a complete O-scale empire. But every time he bought a locomotive, and I never understood this, and I still don't, he would buy an MTH powered locomotive, and then he would get an MTH dummy locomotive. I said, Dave, that's what was his name, Dave, they're the same price, powered and unpowered. Why are you getting an unpowered
They
one?
were the same price?
Yes, the same price. No joke, same price. And that was MTH's same price. It wasn't the hobby shop or whatever. MTH was selling them at the same price because you could get a motored kit to put in it. So
yeah, but they probably then charged for the motored kit. No,
he never got the motored kit. So I don't know, but yeah, but they were the same price.
Don't make no sense to me, none.
No, it don't. No, it don't. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff has improved over the years. A lot of stuff, the technology that we're using. But you know what? If I'm doing a Kit Bash project or a scratch building project, I still scour the train shows for those deals, man.
Oh, of course.
I get those undecorated Athearn blue box gondolas and pulpwood cars. I got stacks and stacks of those.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
You know, and
Yeah, I found undecorated stuff when we were looking for the STS cars. Undecorated stuff was hard to find.
It is. But I like the manufacturers, how they're doing not just the mainstream roads. Before, if you remember, it was always Union Pacific, Santa Fe. You know, that was a lot of stuff you saw. And then, you know, Norfolk Southern, Conrail, CSX. There weren't your regionals and short lines. Atlas started doing fictional stuff, and then they got doing short lines and regional railroads. GWI was one of the first ones that they started, and a couple other companies did that. Then Atlas started making the specialized scrap cars that say DJJ on it and different things. So they started getting into that secondary leasing company marks on railroad cars.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And that was great when they were starting to do that. And then a lot of other people were getting on board. And then you have people saying, well, why don't they make this? Why don't they make that? Well, that's why they have decal companies. Get your decals. Get them done.
I think a lot of people too, like, you know, it's like I won't buy a Union Pacific yellow. Why? Just because it's out there everywhere. Like, it's just way too common. So I think, you know, all the smaller railroads, I think, are more interesting to people.
I model the CB&Q, western suburbs of Chicago. All right, and the one nice thing about modeling Chicago is you can have almost any railroad you want. Okay?
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like I mean, I got my freight cars and freight locos, but I really like passenger trains, especially since I'm modeling the transition era. So I do have a Union Pacific City of Los Angeles that I'm still working on.
Yep.
I like the named trains. You know, I got the California Zephyr for CB&Q and the Chicago Blackhawk, Santa Fe Chief, and eventually I'd like to get Pennsylvania. What was it? The Ran on the Pennsy to Chicago. The
20th Century Limited.
Was the 20th Century, and then the New York Central had the
there was the Broadway Limited. There was a 20th Century Limited.
Right. Broadway Limited was the New York Central, I believe. So anyway, I like those name trains. You know, I'm lining them up in my Union Station, and they look kind of cool. So.
Right. They are. See, yeah. My passenger train I liked was the SB Daylight. That's the first thing I ever saw.
Yeah, that one didn't come to Chicago, though.
I know, but that was the first thing I saw on a railroad video growing up. I loved it, the bright orange. I think on PBS, they ran a lot of the old Comback videos. I think it was the trains, first generation diesels and different steam programs that they were featuring. So it was all on PBS.
Yeah. And
I saw that steam locomotive. I saw that Daylight. And then I saw the passenger trains. And when Athearn came out with their blue box SB Daylight Streamline, I got them.
Yeah.
I had 24 cars.
I run all Athearn passenger cars because they run the shorter ones.
Yeah.
Whereas you get anybody else's and they're the big long things and they won't run very well on my layout. So
my Pittsburgh, Ohio business train that Brian painted and decaled. This was before CMR Products did anything like that. We made a theater car based off of Conrail. We made a lighted observation car, which is really neat. And we used the Walthers passenger cars, undecorated passenger cars.
Right.
Painted them blue. Matter of fact, if you go on train orders, you will see the Pittsburgh and Ohio passenger train running on Ken McCoy's Conrail layout. One guy was there. He videotaped it, and I have it in my file somewhere here. He gave me a copy of it, but it's got sound. In the back seat of my Chevy Cavalier that 3 of us rode in, I was the driver. A friend of mine who's no longer with us, he was in the front seat, and then Brian was in the back. He had a test track on a board because he also brought his computer and sound programmer. He programmed the sound in the locomotive. He was also finishing up some decals on that I actually had printed from Rail Graphics. This is before John was doing anything. And he was finishing he painted the cars the night before. He decaled the cars in the back seat of the Chevy Cavalier going down the turnpike in PA.
Is John a family friend also?
John is a longtime train club member of the Clarion Model Railroad Club.
Okay.
Ever since Bob was having operating sessions in his basement in the late 90s, early 2000s. John belonged because John's from I don't want to say not me, Brockway, PA, up towards Brookville, where the Brookville Locomotive Works is.
Yep.
And Brookville Locomotive Works did some NYC trains. They remotored their some of their locomotives that they used to use in their intercity passengers and whatnot.
I really want the Kato New York Central 20th Century whatever train.
Century Limited.
Yeah, and what their bookcase set. I do have the pencil. I got the I do have the Kato Pennsylvania passenger set that I bought. I think it was their first generation or second generation release that they did. That came in those little flip book suitcase books.
Yep, right. Yeah.
I got 2 sets of that because Brian is currently painting the P&O scheme in N scale. Because I wanted to obviously take stuff to the because when we go to these train shows, we set up these T-track modules and we show people. We let people run them, play with them. So, and I wanted a P&O passenger train in N scale.
One of my future projects is I've got some Kato bi-level commuter cars, which are popular in Chicago. And I mean, they've got them in Chicago Northwestern, Rock Island, Amtrak, and Metra. They don't have them in the CB&Q Burlington. So I bought some Amtrak ones, and eventually I've got to go in and airbrush them and get the Amtrak stripes off them and then re-decal them for Burlington. I got all the decals. I got everything. It's just too many other things going on.
Oh, yeah. Just like everything else, life comes, life interrupts stuff.
Yeah, I'm tired. I got all day to do stuff, and I still run out of time.
Well, you need to move up to Pennsylvania.
No. I'm in Florida. I lived up north most of my life. I'm not going back.
We used to go to Bob's house every other Thursday. Every other Thursday, like clockwork. He would start. Of course, Brian and I went up because they would have dinner up there, and we ate dinner at 5 o'clock. And then we would operate trains.
Dinner at 5 o'clock.
Well, now, meanwhile, I live in Zillionople.
The blue early bird special.
we would leave my house here in Zillionople. Brian lives about 20 minutes away in Slippery Rock, and then from Slippery Rock to Clarion was an hour drive normally. But each time we would drive I-80, we would see how fast we can get there. One time we made it in 20 minutes.
My record was coming back from college at Iowa State to Chicago, 350 miles in 4 hours and 10 minutes. That's an average of 88 miles per hour.
Yeah, and that's not how fast I was traveling up there, because it would normally take an hour from Brian's house to get there. But the cool thing about it was we also had a state trooper in our operating group, Jason Sider. Matter of fact, I don't know
how many times did he tell you out?
A lot of times. Well, on Thursday nights, because he'd be in Venango County, and we'd have to travel through Venango County to get to Clarion County. and he'd be actually leaving the barracks, sometimes in his patrol car, sometimes in his truck, and we would meet up, and we would pace race up I-80 with a state trooper. I mean, he isn't your normal state trooper. He'd be like, you know what? I carry guns in my vehicle. If I pull you over and see a gun there, he goes, if you're drunk, I'll pull you over. But if you're normal, I mean, he was one of the honest state troopers I ever, I've been associated with.
You
But
know what? We missed Anthony Dodge and his song of the week.
what's that? Anthony Dodge, what?
Anthony Dodge, another live streamer,
Yeah.
does a parody song every week.
Oh,
And it's normally at 3:30 on Fridays. Oh well.
we need to make a list of everybody that does everything, because I try to get every place that I can and whatnot. But
There's a lot of people that have those lists, like Ray Bobel posts it when he does his, and he goes through what everybody has got live. And I think Vinny does it too, doesn't he? BNSF 6951. I think he does it as well.
well, I must say, if it wasn't for Tom and then Heath, I wouldn't be around the live stream circuit or around much.
Tom's a hoot.
He is. He
He
is.
lives just south of me, down in Naples.
Oh, so you've met him before?
No, I haven't. The one
Oh, okay.
opportunity, he came up at Regal, has a series of train shows, and they started them back up again. They had one about a month ago in, it was less than a month ago, in St. Pete, and Tom and his wife drove up, and I was going to go over, and I got committed to something else, so I didn't get to meet him.
I try it.
Anthony
and
Dodge usually goes on for hours.
Yeah. The problem with the night ones that go on for hours, being the old fart that I am, and waking up at anywhere from 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, 8:30, 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm in bed.
I'm actually gonna jump and go hang out, go say hello to Anthony for a little while.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I got some stuff here to do, but thank you, Heath, for showing me the ropes around here at StreamYard. So if
Yeah, no problem.
If I want to do this, I can't be in the YouTube. I got to come to StreamYard, right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
You
So-
can be in YouTube. You just have to mute your mic there.
Right. Now I went outside with YouTube when I was at the bus stop, so I wasn't near the computer. But
Yeah, this is
You
fun.
can use StreamYard through your phone.
right, I do that whenever you have it doing there. But okay.
Yeah.
So in order to do this again, do I have to sign up a StreamYard again and get a code and do it again, or
The join code will be different, but your StreamYard setup would be the same. Like you could just use the same, just go to StreamYard.com and your account will be there, and
okay?
your destination should be all set up and all that stuff.
Okay, good.
Cookies have everything, so it should just jump you right in.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks guys for being here, and look for more videos. And Heath, as soon as I get my eyes fixed here, I'm going to start sending you stuff, and we'll do some collaborations.
Awesome. Sounds great, Scott.
Thank you guys.
Talk to you later.
Hi, Scott. How long does it take? They didn't give me an estimated time on my Blame Heath stuff.
I don't know the answer.
Because they have
You
to.
should be able to log back in and see your order.
Well, I got the email, but
It doesn't say?
it just says confirms they got it. It doesn't say when it'll ship.
You can go. They have a pretty decent chat for buyers on the website. You can possibly go there and ask.
There's an order status thing there. It's still under the order placed.
Yeah, so it may take a second to get in the system, and then you should get a date, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, no problem. It's not like I'm in a big hurry. I just
I want my Blame Heath merch.
you got that right. I can't wait to show it off at the. I guarantee you, the day it arrives, whoever's having a StreamYard that invites people in, I'm going to be wearing it.
That's funny.
All right, guys.
All right, see you. Bye.
Anthony as
Thanks
well.
all.
Bye.
Bye.